The third Hokage is easily the worst Hokage. If he was even slightly better at his job, the Leaf Village would have been absolutely unstoppable. First, let's just get this out the way. Hiruzen is often given a bad rep because of his failure to take care of Naruto, but I would argue he did an okay job with providing for Naruto. The issue with Hiruzen is he's a horrible leader. Though he successfully led the Leaf Village through 3 wars, don't get me wrong, that's a big achievement. I understand how incredible it is. It was honestly due to him being lucky. I mean, when you have some of the most powerful ninja to ever exist at your disposal, surviving wars becomes a hell of a lot easier. Let's recap. Tsunade carried the Second Great War, and of course Minato was a force to be reckoned with during the Third War. What exactly did Hiruzen do? In fact, what exactly did he even need to do? Not much. Hiruzen just has bad judgment. The man who would rather greenlight an entire clan's massacre instead of negotiate with them because they were under suspicion is also the same man who couldn't bring himself to take down his student who kills and experiments on innocent people, specifically children of all ages. I mean, the Uchiha clan just wanted to be treated fairly and not be judged without evidence. Orochimaru was just an evil cunt. These two mistakes clearly highlight a flaw within Hiruzen, his indecisiveness. Hiruzen never does anything. He's a very passive Hokage. He claims to care for the Leaf Village very deeply, but actions speak louder than words, and Hiruzen does nothing to improve his so-called beloved village. All their major advancements to the Leaf Village came from Tobirama decades ago, and more recently from Tsunade during the wars. Unfortunately, the Leaf's third Hokage is more fixated on himself and his own abilities, spending all his time and energy learning new jutsu and refining his skills, which is perfectly fine for a Jonin, not a Kage. Don't get me wrong, he's a godly shinobi, just like you'll be when you hit that subscribe button. But Hiruzen is not the best leader. But I like the old man, so let's rewrite the timeline, give him a second chance. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is take it all the way back to the Third Great Ninja War. This time Hiruzen is gonna be a little bit more ruthless. He's not just gonna let the war end. Sorries and will not do it again is not enough for Hiruzen. Too many children died. He wants payment from these villages. Asking for the Jinchuriki would be a bit much, but they're gonna give Hiruzen a lot of money for all the death and destruction and betrayal they caused upon the Leaf Village. There is no forgiveness this time. They'll just have to pay. And they would. The Leaf was too much of a juggernaut at this time. No village wants that smoke. So now the Leaf Village would have a little bit more money to spend on improving the village. So far so good. Also, Hiruzen is not stepping down. Instead of simply shouldering the blame for all the deaths and then running away, he would promise to make amends and make sure the Leaf Village never goes through such a tragedy again. With Hiruzen still in office, we can fast forward about 2 years into the future, all the way to the Nine Tails attack. The Third Hokage would be present for Naruto's birth and would briefly fight Obito, but as he was getting sucked away, Minato would step in and Hiruzen would leave to deal with the Nine Tails. Things would go about the same. Minato, Kushina die, and Naruto still gets stuck with the orange furball. Only major change is the Uchiha are no longer falsely under suspicion. Hiruzen saw what happened. Some guy just came out of thin air and was intangible and ruined everything. Minato would probably even ask Hiruzen, Lord Hokage, please tell me, is this guy Madara Uchiha or something? And other things of that nature. So no false accusations, but a lot of effort would be spent trying to find Obito. Regardless, no need for a massacre. Also, later down the line, Orochimaru is going to ninja prison. I can't imagine Hiruzen killing his beloved student, but Orochimaru is just too dangerous to be let loose. Seriously, this was Hiruzen's biggest mistake. How could you let the most dangerous ninja on the planet at the time just leave? But like I said, we're giving Hiruzen a second chance. So this time, everyone's favorite Snake Man is getting life imprisonment with a chance of parole with good behavior. Next person on the chopping block, Danzo Shimura. We all know Danzo's just evil. No, he's not evil, he's a moron who just ruins everything. But I can understand Hiruzen's perspective. He's been close with Danzo for decades. But the Third Hokage's failure to put a tighter leash on Danzo really highlighted his weakness in willpower. I'm not saying Hiruzen has to kill Danzo. I don't think he really could, even if he wanted to. If he kills him, then Root gets out of control. It's a whole thing. I don't think he would kill him. And I don't even think he can throw him into jail. All the missions Root carries out are vital. Somebody has to do the dirty work for the village. But the child experiments, that's where the line has to be drawn. This time it will be. With that, we can fast forward a bit into the future. I'm just gonna be honest, Naruto's childhood is still not great. The Third Hokage tried his best to make sure no one attacked Naruto, but he can't really do much to remove the hatred from people's hearts. Regardless, Team 7 would still be the same, but Sasuke is on a completely different level from Naruto. There's no longer any rivalry between the two. Sasuke isn't really a mean emo guy anymore. And he's pretty strong. Naruto cannot do anything to Sasuke at this point. They're not rivals and they don't compete much. Sasuke just completely outclasses Naruto at any given opportunity. The Land of Waves would go very smoothly. Sasuke would perform very well against Haku. The Chunin exams wouldn't be interrupted, so Sasuke would be promoted, leaving Naruto even further behind. This would fuel Naruto to train with Jiraiya indefinitely. Since there's no 3-year time limit to retrieve Sasuke, and the Akatsuki are still an incredibly serious threat, and Madara is still lurking, maybe gonna come for the Nine Tails again, I can see Hiruzen allowing Jiraiya to train Naruto for as long as is necessary, and that might mean a few months or a few years or even a decade or two, honestly. So Naruto would leave with Jiraiya for a while and Sasuke would continue to climb the ranks, likely joining the Anbu or the police force. After a few years, Hiruzen would be forced to step down. He would just be too old for the job at this point. He did do a good job this time, and it was just time to let it go. Fugaku would be the 4th Hokage. I know it sounds crazy, but he's the only proper candidate. Itachi, Shisui, Kakashi are far too young and are not even interested. Orochimaru's in jail. Tsunade is definitely uninterested. And Jiraiya left with Naruto and no one really knows when they'll return. Danzo was never an option. Fugaku would be the first Uchiha Kage. Madara would be smirking in the afterlife. The Akatsuki is still a very serious threat, like I said, but Nagato would never invade the Leaf Village. For as long as Naruto isn't there, there isn't really any reason to even try to. It's just too much of a hassle. Don't get me wrong, Nagato still hates the Leaf Village, but his original attack on the Leaf Village was because Jiraiya infiltrated the Rain Village first, and he was also quite desperate because most of the Akatsuki were dead at that point. But Naruto over the years would become very powerful, even likely mastering Sage Mode and potentially a bit of the Nine Tails chakra. Naruto would never be captured because he would just be too hard to find for the Akatsuki. He would spend most of his time at Mount Miyoboku, and God knows how you get there. And if he's not at Mount Miyoboku, he's just traveling around with Jiraiya, so you can't get a read on where he could be. So the Akatsuki is really never gonna find Naruto. So now the current situation within this altered timeline is the Leaf Village is doing pretty good. Naruto is now basically living with Jiraiya, traveling with his godfather. He visits the Leaf Village from time to time, but doesn't have a permanent residence there anymore since most people still hate Naruto. Fugaku's the 4th Hokage, and because of nepotism, Itachi would likely be named the 5th or at least 6th Hokage a couple years into the future. The Akatsuki wouldn't be able to capture all the tailed beasts. Obito wouldn't really care much because he never really believed in Madara's plans. He just wanted to make everyone suffer like he did. So like I said, everything is way better when Hiruzen isn't so passive and does a proper job as Hokage. And yeah, the Otsutsuki, let's forget about them. Let's say Momoshiki gets lost and ends up on Jupiter or Mars or anywhere that isn't Earth, and Toneri also gets lost, so problem solved. If you made it this far into the video, I really appreciate your support. Make sure to leave any what if ideas and video ideas in the comments, and I'll get around to doing them. Have a lovely rest of your day.